Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter, and I'm coming on to show you which is the almost finished Twas the Night Before Christmas hunky-dory kit project that I did on the run up to Christmas Eve. And as you know, if you've seen the videos, Wednesday was a complete disaster. Everything went wrong as I was trying to glue it all together. The chipboard is very, very thirsty, and I was using a UPVA glue to glue it, and it just wasn't working. And what happened was that you've got to glue these are chipboards, and you've got to glue them back to back. And because I'd put the glue on and then glued the papers, which is this is like an inserted bit, because I glued those on and then I was trying to glue the two pages back to back. If you've seen the videos, you'll know what I mean. What happened was that this chipboard, this side, was bowing like a U shape, and then the other was an upside down U shape as I'm putting them together. So the edges just weren't meeting or coming together, and I put lots and lots of different sort of pegs and goodness knows what along the edges to try and hold those edges together while the glue set, and it just wasn't setting, it wasn't staying together properly. It was just an absolute nightmare really. But what I did was I got them all one by one and put more glue in any of the areas that hadn't got any or was coming apart, and then I got about 10 or 11 pieces, or should I say stacks, of 12 by 12 papers and just put it over them along with anything else I could fit on top, to try and get some weight on there. I use the 12 by 12 because it goes over the edges, and I wanted the weight there and there to hold those edges down, and it's worked quite well. Wish I'd have done that first off rather than while I'm waiting for things to dry. Normally I just pop them under my blue mat because that's quite a weight, but it just wasn't heavy enough for these pages with their U sort of bend in them as they were trying to dry. The other thing I think I would do differently is when I was gluing them, I went across. So you've got this page that glues to the back of the chipboard, this bit, and I went across the image on the back of the page. I went across the image, and what's happened with that is, you might be able to see better on this one because it's probably the worst one of the lot. You've got some, I guess, like an undulation going on there, so, or doming if you like. I don't know whether that's catching the light for you or not, but you've got bits that are kind of, yeah, it's like the waves on the sea, so it goes up down up down up down where the glue has been. So I think if I was gluing it again, I would confine myself to the back side of the chipboard and then fit the papers over and not glue across the image, the back side of the image at all. Some are better than others. That one is fine. These ones at the back are fine. There's a little bit with that one. That one's fine. That one worked out fine. This one, these are the ones that kind of, they're raised up a little bit, so that are not affected at all. And then there's a little bit on that one. That one's, they're fine because they're raised up as well. That one is probably the worst one. It doesn't detract too much from the book, but it's just, I guess, because I'd wanted to do this project for such a long time, and wanted to get hold of one of these books, I kind of like, I guess my disappointment is picking flies. The other thing I think I would do differently if I was doing this project again is I would definitely sand the edges of the chipboard a bit more. so these edges are a little bit rougher than I would like. And now that I've put on, I used some of the Inca Gold that I've got, the gold, well, the regular gold Inca Gold. And a big shout out to Betsy Doodle, who did a fabulous video in the summer, I think it was May, June maybe, of how to reinvigorate your Inca Gold, because this was a solid solid lump of Inca Gold, and there was no doing anything with it really. So she'd done a video about it, went back and kind of had a play. This was done 6 months ago, and as you know, with Inca Gold, if you've got it, you can get a lot of mould growing in there. There's no mould, and it's still very, very moist. So I can use it. It's very kind of creamy still, so it can be used, unlike the lump I had previously. So I've gone along all the edges, as you can see, all over my hands and fingers, all the edges, and just put the gold on there. But it has highlighted some of the pips that I guess from the manufacturing, because you don't push these out, but I think the manufacturers maybe pushed it out of a larger sheet or something, because there are some little pips on there which I think I would have or should have just sanded them down a little bit. So yeah, so that's all, it's all done. And as you can see, I've used the red ribbon. I've got to cut it down, but I've not cut it down because I'm not sure about it. I've put it on in the way that they showed you to, which is this kind of bodice lace up way of doing it. I did it too tight at first, which meant that you couldn't then open the book fully, because I want to be able to open it all the way across like that. And it was too tight, so now I've loosened it so that I can do that with my pages. But I just don't like the way it kind of twists and what have you. So that's why I've got all these binder rings out. These ones I think are going to be too big for it. I have these ones which I think are an inch, yeah, 1.5 inches, and these ones which are, I think these are under an inch, aren't they? Yeah, those are 3/4 inch. I've got those ones, and I might order some smaller than that but bigger than that one, because I have a feeling that these ones are going to be too big. So I'm thinking of swapping these out. Let me just pull that out. Swapping this out and using the binder rings to hold the book, bind the book together, and then cutting up this gorgeous red ribbon, because it is beautiful, and tying them along the edges. You will have seen the books. If you've not done them yourself, you'll have seen them, where they use the ribbon and tie them onto the rings to form like a rag down the side. So it's like a rag ribbon tie. So yeah, so that's definitely too big. This is my 1.5 inch one, which I think is also going to be too big. So let me just try one at the top and one at the bottom. Yeah, they look too big to me. That's a big one. They do look too big to me. Because what I want to do is kind of stabilise the book a little bit, so that it kind of like doesn't twist, because after all the heartache of trying to do this, I don't want it sort of breaking apart. Yeah, that's too big, isn't it? Yeah, that's far too big. And then if I kind of twist the book, yeah, that's a bit too loose. Whereas I'm pretty sure that those ones are going to be, I'm thinking maybe the inch ones. Let's see if this one fits. If it's 3/4 inch, let's see if it fits, or how much bigger. I think they go up in 1/4 inches. I'm not entirely sure. But let's see if it'll go on. Oh, it might. Yeah, it does go on. Right, let's have a look. Let's put another one up the other end. I only do to the 2 ends, and that way you get a good idea of where things are going. I'm just really aware that sometimes when you use these, you can't then open the books. So let's have a go. Oh, okay. No, that works. That works. I still think it's a little bit... Is it? Hold on, let's try halfway through. That's the second page. That's the... Oh, no, okay. Yeah, that's... they're not too bad, actually. I think I'm going to get the next one up. Get the 1-inch ones. I was thinking about 1 1/4. But what I want to do, if I just show you, is then cut these down into sort of that size. And then just thread them through, tie them on, so put about 3 or 4 of each, and then you get that effect. And I reckon I could get quite a bit out of this one, and then maybe I've got some nice green ribbon as well, which is about the same width, and doing some of the green, maybe 1 or 2 green in amongst all the red, just to kind of give it that bit of sort of luxury look. So there you go. Yeah, so it's nearly finished, but not quite. And I'm going to wait, I think, to get the 1-inch ones of these. Don't think I'm going to go with the 3/4, especially once I've tied on all the ribbons. I think it'll be far too tight. So yeah, so there you go, my disastrous New Year's Eve project. I feel like I've managed to sort it out, but lessons learned, so I might just get another one and do it again, but after having learned everything from doing this one. But we'll see, or I might just keep this and it'll be the family joke or the family memories. Okay guys, well there you go. My Christmas Eve project finally finished on the very last. I mean, it is, gosh, it is getting late now. So I hope you're having or have had a wonderful Christmas and Boxing Day, and let's look forward to New Year's. Speak to you all soon. Bye for now.